Welcome to Queenstown Arena. We have the battle between the SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me I have Joel LeBreton. We're going to bring you this live performance between these two teams. Joel.
It's going to be a good performance as well. This Red Devils team's looking quite strong this year. Few new players coming in the lineup. A lot of youth, actually. They've got quite a few young guys out there.
Yeah.
See how they deal in the Queenstown barn, eh?
Yeah, in the barn. So we're looking at 3 minutes before the puck drop. Season's looking just getting off, and Stampede coming out really strong. They have had a couple slippery games where they went all the way to shootouts, which was that makes for an exciting game, which also means that the league is leveling out a little bit.
A lot more parity in the league this year. You're not seeing those big blowout games. No, Stampede especially kind of having to fight hard and dig deep for every win they're getting. So, yeah,
right.
Still tied for top of the table though. So
you can't pick it yet. Last weekend, interesting tournament, 3v3.
3v3. Yeah, it's quite exciting.
Very fast. Talking to some of the fans that were there, they. Especially non-hockey, like dedicated hockey people, the people I was talking to, loved it. Thought it was, I guess you'd compare it to the sevens, the speed of the sevens in rugby, just everything going on.
Little bits of bite-sized hockey, you can just come down, watch a quick little game.
Yep. And fast, very fast. So,
I reckon next year, I had this idea, I've spoken through a few people, how about a combined New Zealand women's and NZIHL? Couple of the national league girls in there in the mix.
Now you've said it, Joel. Ooh. Now you've said it.
I would love to watch that. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of the women's, the Wild had an exhibition tournament in Christchurch last weekend. Colin McIntosh head coach took the women up there, and they split the tournament. Each won a game. Great to see. As being early in the season for the women's. Lots to work on, but also for the Wild. Great strength. Some fantastic goaltending by Canterbury, the Infernos, and it was great to watch those two games.
Good to see them get a couple of games in there early as well before the season really kicks off, and skate together and get that chemistry happening. Yeah,
get the nerves back. Get the nerves on top of things, and I think that competition there. It's leading into the Worlds that's happening in Dunedin this year, so everybody's excited about that, and home turf and all that.
Going to be a lot of players coming out of the woodwork for that, I'd say.
People want to get tangled up with that big time.
Yeah.
So tonight's referee is Richard Button, and linesing tonight is Adam Nagy and Aaron Chisholm. So they'll have their work cut out for them. Some say, Joel, this is the shortest day of the year, but I like to think of it more as the longest night, and perhaps we'll see how long this night can go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, slopes are open. Have you been up?
Not yet, no. I saw Cadrona's open. They got a couple of slopes open.
Yeah, I think we're still needing that big, splash of snow to make it really exciting, but it's lovely to see.
That's a promising start. That's all we need, to get it going.
Definitely frosty down here. I think I come into the rink to warm up. It's quite cold. It's been quite cold.
Those mornings are brutal, especially over in Wanaka with that inversion layer. Oh.
Yeah, no, nice sunny day in Queenstown for what the sun had. How many hours? A few hours. If you haven't been to Queenstown, pop on down, have a ski or a snowboard, enjoy a game of hockey.
And an ice-cold Wanaka Beer Works beer to finish your day off
there's the shout, the Beer Works beer, of course. If you haven't picked it, Joel's involved in that big time. All right, so we're only moments away from the puck drop. Big shout out. I'll be shouting out all during this game, but big shout out to all you people listening from all over, all the way back in Canada, perhaps early morning in the summer. Be longest day in Canada.
Yeah, that's true. We're having lovely weather, I bet.
I'm hoping.
Down by the lake, maybe.
Yeah, sitting at the cabin, watching a hockey game. Couldn't think of anything better. Speaking of hockey, again, the slippery Oilers have just clawed their way back.
Yeah,
Could be a very interesting.
to watch.
I don't know. I would have lost some money because after the third game with the Florida, I kind of thought it was all over. But of course, being Canadian, you can't write them off.
That good Canadian grit, you reckon?
It ain't over till the moose sings, I guess it is.
Yeah. Oh, as usual, I'm sure we've got plenty of your fellow countrymen down here on the ice tonight.
Yep. We'll make mention of those as we go. Good time to thank our sponsors. SkyCity. Big thanks to SkyCity Casino, the Ice Hockey Club, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, Eventifying, Sign It, Media Works, James Allen Photography. And we'll carry on in a minute because we're about to drop the puck.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey thing. A little bit of skatey punchy. Face off, puck rolls into Canterbury zone, and a couple quick shots by Harrison and Devlin. Burns with it on the blue line, cross ice. Hits Devlin. Carries to the corner. Behind the net is Harrison. Harrison. Big quick shot by Devlin. Or Ross, sorry. Who is just off the mark. Puck cleared up, but not out. Tap back in by Amston, and is banged all the way down the ice. Canterbury behind the Stampede net in the corner. Esposito pops it just about to the blue line, but now picked up by McCallum. Or Chalice. And it's tapped into the Canterbury zone and tapped all the way down to the Stampede zone. Struggling for possession at the moment, Joe.
Yeah, Stampede's come out really, really strong here, haven't they?
Back in the corner behind Brooks. And finally, McIntosh over the red line, over the blue line. Wrap around, and McCullum, that old chestnut, the wrap around.
What a sally, too. Yeah, it was a great little dish there by McIntosh. He must be seeing really well without his cage on now,
Right. You could say that Collins out of the cage,
Collins out of the cage.
Who let the dogs out, because that was such a nice pass.
Yep.
And then the wraparound, couldn't move quite fast enough around. And that sets Stampede up 1-0 early in this first period. And puck rolls behind the Devils' net in the corner and cleared out. Shoveled all the way down the ice. No icing, and a huge hustle by Rees to touch that puck. But they can't control it, and it hits the blue line, but not out. Tap back in. True fires it up. Hurley taps it into Devils territory. Harrison picks up a loose puck and taps it into Devils area. Tap back out, neutral zone. And back into Stampede area. Rook, shot, tapped away. Or backhands it on target. But Devlin skates it out with Amston, with Ross. Amston now. And Devils trying to get it out. Can't. It's back behind the net. Devlin, Harrison. Now Devlin behind the net, trying that same wraparound. And a quick shot there by Devlin. Glove save. And Burns on the point. Cross ice. Amston one-times it off the glass. Burns picks it up on the blue line. Taps to Ross, who sets up Harrison. And that tic-tac-toe.
Wow. Wow. That was some great work by Stampede, just moving it around in the zone there. Everyone got a touch on that.
Yeah, some great passing, clear zone passing, cycling.
Seeing some good intensity from both teams, though. Like, Red Devils were all over them there.
Yep. Carey just couldn't get anything on that move across. His problem was the puck was moving across on either side of the slot so quickly, his ability to move back and forth.
They had a little conversation down here about the net being off.
Oh, so they're not calling that.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see how that
being
affects.
in possession like that, they would.
16:44 left in this first period, and they're still only counting as a 1-0 game. McIntosh facing off for the Stampede. Just a little bit to the left of Carey. Shot from Freer, deflected wide. McCullum centers. Puck bounces off Carey's pads, but McIntosh picks it up in the corner. And I think the net. I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh, the net's been knocked off the Maroons again. Yes.
Interesting.
I guess the sticky tape at the bottom isn't working tonight.
Indeed.
Big thanks to Max. To James and Charlie, our technicians, bringing you this live stream coverage. Still struggling with that net. Guess I can continue on. LBRP Consulting, big thanks to Tile Max and AWS Legal, Queenstown Health, and the Cook Brothers Construction, Crete Works, and WT Partnership, and of course, big thanks to SkyCity for the main sponsors for the SkyCity Stampede. Big conversations going on down there. I really wish I had a.
Yeah, we need a little ice level mic there to pick all that up. Nope, seem to have sorted it all out. Let's play some hockey.
Yeah, finally back to hockey. Freer off the face-off, taps it to the corner. Pick up by Willis. Can't get it out. And finally, it's by Bowl. Bowl over the red line, fires it. And Hasselman just bats it all the way around. And it's behind the net. Stampede marching it out.
Oh, great dish there.
Fantastic work by the Stampede, moving it out.
There's a great feed straight up through a little stretch pass through the middle there. C-Mac picked it up, rang it off the post, unfortunately. Maybe does need the cage back to dial his vision in again, you know.
He needs that, it creates that target.
Yeah, little crosshairs in
crosshairs,
there,
that's it, yeah. Chance for Resky Jones facing off for the Stampede. He's got Roby with him on the right and Hurley on the left. But it's railed all the way down the ice, and icing is the call. So it's still only 1-0. Stampede in the lead. 15:50 left in this first period. Puck dropped. Roby taps behind the net. And Canterbury start to move it up. Esposito intercepted Rusky Jones intercepted that pass and takes a shot. Rolls up to the blue line, but not out. And finally tapped to Cole on the Stampede blue line. Rusky Jones on the red line, skates it over. Rusky Jones behind the net, centers. Cole, big wind up off a skate in the slot. And it's kicked all the way down the ice, and icing is the call. Esposito giving good chase, but couldn't quite catch it.
Esposito, that's a tough hockey name to have. You got a lot to live up to there.
Yeah, well, when I was probably about 10 years old, the Esposito brothers back in the day, Tony, famous name back in North America.
I suppose there's an Orr down there as well.
Yeah, there's an Orr.
Yeah.
Yep, Bobby Orr, Boston. Esposito, shot. Hasselman covers up. That was sort of... was created out of nothing, but Esposito...
Yeah, found a nice little seam, split the D there, and got a step on.
Yeah, and good shot, but Hasselman, after all that work, you still got to get past
up to
Hasselman.
the task. Yeah, exactly. never an easy move.
Face off to the right of Hasselman. And Burns picks it up, rails it behind the net to Sulphur. Sulphur against the boards, but finally gets it to the blue line. Tapped across.
Oh. Good hit by Campbell there.
McCog in the neutral zone gives chase with Willis, but Willis puts it up. Can't quite hit Hunt. And a bit of physicality here. And Stampede cleared to the red line. Fired all the way back into Stampede zone, giving the Devils a chance to have a change of horses.
It's good strategy from the Devils there. You've got to bring the physicality. You've got to bring the intensity when you come and play here. Otherwise, you're just going to get walked over.
Ross with it. Ross in Devils zone hits Harrison, but he can't collect it. And ball duel over the blue line, takes a shot. Hopkins taps it back in. Now Freer with it behind the net. McCullum up to the neutral zone. Ross fighting for it. Leaves Devlin. Devlin bounces in front where Freer couldn't get a piece of it. And it's back into the neutral zone. Freer across to McCullum over the blue line. Shot. Carrying behind the net. Knocked off the puck. Kept in by Freer. Shot. Low drifter, but it got on the net. Back to Freer. Freer takes a shot on the money. And it's kept in. A little bit of a few shots there by the Stampede. Cross ice to Freer. Freer taps it to the corner where Chellis and Devlin give chase. Off the post from the slot. And McIntosh with it. McIntosh. Nope, Freer with it, sorry. Taps it around behind the net. Chalice back around the net. No one there. And Esposito and Hopkins go for it. Bounces to the blue line, but not out. And kept in again by Mitchell Freer. Great work on that blue line. And Lockie Freer picks that puck up, tries to backhand it, but Carey covers up.
Carey seems to be up to the task. He just made a very, very, very nice series of saves there. Yeah. On some quite tough, different angled shots as well.
You know, I said it's the longest night of the year. This could be Carey's longest night of the year.
I think it could be, yeah.
Taking some brutal shots already, and we're still only halfway through that first period. Face off to the right of Carey. Behind the net. Orr with it now. Orr in the corner. Lost it, though, and it's kind of scrambly dumped, and it ends up on Hasselman's stick. So, Amston. Amston leaves for Burns. Big forward pass to Amston. He can't collect it. And it's in the corner where Brown and Orr are battling against Rusky Jones for it. Finally to the blue line is Brown. Orr, sorry. On the red line now. Dump back in where the Devils fired all the way back down to the Stampede blue line. Roby carries to the corner, tries to center, can't. And a good feed pass to Tirangi. And he fires and Hasselman pushes that to the side. Hurley with it now. Hurley to the red line, fires it in. Where Willis picks it up behind his own net. To the blue line, bounces out where Coyle picks it up. Devlin picks up a loose puck on the blue line. Ross picks that up, fires it around. Devlin in the corner. Still pushing for it against Hunt. Hunt carries it out to the blue line. Being dogged heavily by Devlin, but Cole can't clear that. Where Cope tries to center. And finally it's tapped up to Harrison on the red line. And Harrison in an attempt to just fire it down, just bounces it
hit
off
the speaker and went straight for Carey as well, actually.
Yeah.
It's normally the visiting teams that get caught by this low roof.
Yeah, just didn't realize it was just too much pepper on that. Big shout out, Bex and Nigel, if you're listening. Wonderful. Probably sitting at home nicely, huddling the fire and enjoying on the big screen. So McIntosh with it. McIntosh behind the net, centers. And McCullum couldn't get a piece of that, and it floats all the way down onto Chalice's stick in the Stampede area. Big centering pass to Freer over the red line. He marches it up the left side. And McIntosh picks up that puck in the corner. On the blue line, it's McCullum. Boyle picks it up. But then it's turned over in the Stampede zone. McIntosh on the red line. He's dangerous.
Turning on the Jets.
Yeah. And a little bit of miscommunication, but still a shot on net. And McIntosh picks it up in his own zone. Feeds Chalice on the blue line. Chalice trying to center, but covered up quickly as McCullum was firing in there on that They're trying to get that timing right, so that it looks like they're slowing down, but the only reason they're slowing down is to allow that third person in. Face off to the right of Gary. Or with it over the blue line. Leaves for Hopkins. He takes a shot. Pushed to the corner by Hasselman. Railed along the boards. Amston clearing all the way up for Hurley, who puts the Jets on and getting pushed around, but trying to get, and there might be a hook. So all that hard work that Hurley put in actually resulted in a Red Devils penalty. So yeah, he did the heavy lifting, and it worked.
Exactly. Now we're on good little power play going, and let's see, first one of the night. Let's see what Stampede have got in store.
So Nichols going 2 minutes for hooking. A chance to see that power play of the Stampede.
Yeah. Well, judging how they're moving it around 5-on-5, I think this could be quite interesting.
Moving in, shot. Chalice behind the net. Feeds McCullum on the point. Back to Chalice in the corner. Again, McCullum. Cross ice to McIntosh. Shot off some pipe. Or no, Chalice cross again to McIntosh. Skating it in. Centers. And a spectacular save by Carey off
Great
of
save by Carey there.
I believe that was Chalice.
Yep.
Wonderful save. Again, McIntosh on the blue line. Where Burns picks it up across ice. Devlin. Back to Burns. Cross to McCullum. McIntosh in the corner. And taps it around, and it looks like Canterbury might just, nope. Burns taps it back in. And McIntosh with it behind the net. Burns in the corner. Big Delamore plucks it off of Burns and fires it down, giving that Canterbury a great chance for a line change. But the Stampede right back in it. Great battle there. Won by Orr. And he scores short-handed. Again, came out of nothing. Great hustle.
That was just a dogged effort to pull that off the wall, skate through 3 defensemen.
Yeah, he was
battle all the way to the net,
tangled
and then
up.
tap it in.
Yeah, just a little bit relaxed. Wow, what a great effort by the Red Devils. Or tying it up, a short-handed goal. There's 20 seconds left in this penalty to.
That's what you want to see from your captain. That's going to set a massive tone.
Great workout. So Coyle with it. Cross to Amston. Amston on the blue line. Over the red line. Still has it. Over the blue line. Leaves for Campbell. Takes that shot. Just a little wide. Fed back to the point where Coyle takes a rolling puck and shoots. And McCog tries a shot from the blue line. And again, the penalty is over, where Coyle forced into his own zone. Amston.
That's definitely not the result the Stampede were looking for on a power play.
Never expected. And Ball picks up a whiff from Sofer, and Esposito had a big piece of the net, but just fires it high. It's just a whiff by Coyle, missing the puck.
That's all it takes is a game of mistakes, isn't it? You know, you got to capitalize on it when your opponent does something silly.
So face-off, forcing that face-off to the right of Hasselman. Brown with it on the point. Brown taps it to the corner. Devlin rails it up. Harrison and whistle. Oh, somebody's boarding.
Boarding or
Burns?
cross-check?
Cross-check, sorry. Yep, Burns getting a cross-check. So good opportunity for the Devils.
Yeah, they do pretty well on the PK. Let's see how they do on the PP.
All right, so 5-on-4 for the Devils with 6 minutes, 29 seconds left. Face off to the left of Hasselman. Or back to Nichols on the point. Taps it around to the corner. Dole and Esposito. Esposito with it. Leaves for Orr. In front, but can't get a piece of it. And Stampede clear it up, but not out. Where Hunt picks it up. Cross ice. Shot by Nichols. And finally centered where Devlin fires it all the way down, forcing Nichols behind the net to regroup. And McIntosh picks up, interrupts a play, and the puck rolls behind the net where Devils try to set it up. And Chalice with it now on the blue line. McIntosh feeds McCullum. McCullum fakes a shot, skates behind the net. Into the corner, feeds the Devils Hunt, who picks that up. And Reese with it over the blue line. Spins, puts to the corner. Shot covered up by Hasselman.
A lot of back and forth going here as well. You know, there's been a lot of good opportunities at both ends on this power play.
Power play for the.
Let's see what they can do here.
Face off to the left of Hasselman. To the boards, tap behind the net. Reese gives chase. Tries to get it to Delamore on the point. Delamore has to chase it to the corner. Delamore. Shot wide. Covered up by Hasselman again, just breaking up that momentum that Canterbury may have had.
Smart move. Well, 20 seconds left in the power play here, so Red Devils are going to be really banking on winning this draw, getting the puck moving and seeing if they can create an opportunity.
Yeah, with Willis and Delamore at the point. Speaking of Delamore, with it on the red line, hits Willis, drags it back into his own zone. Back to Delamore, who carries behind the net. And Willis with Hodge. And Willis makes the blunder where Roby picks it up and just carries it to kill that penalty. And now it's Rusky Jones that misses that shot. I think he got stick lifted just at the last second.
We can definitely give him the benefit of the doubt there, considering how hard he worked to actually get it in the first place. So
Ross takes that shot, yeah. And Freer to Ross, who can't quite tap it in. And Harrison along the boards still has it. Back to the point where McCullum leaves for and a shot on target. And a score. Poor Carey, he thought that was a big rebound, but he had just planted it.
Popped right out, and Devlin just came in and cleaned it up.
Deceiving, there was no bounce on that puck. In fact, he would have been wiser to cover, but not knowing, it sounded like solid timber, where it usually bounces many meters away. But
Yep. I think Red Devils aren't going to be happy with that. I think they all got caught puck watching a little bit.
So we're looking at 2-1. 3 minutes, 47 seconds left in this first period. And Coyle with it. True. Freer into the corner. And Devils into Stampede zone where Hasselman gets tangled up behind the net as well. So a little bit of a dangerous play.
Well, he's not the kind of goalie you can really push around behind the net either.
No, but if he did go down, he's a big unit.
Yeah, that's true.
Chalice with it now over the blue line. Chalice off the boards. McIntosh can't grab it, and Coyle gives chase and taps it just over the blue line where Freer picks it up. Freer can't quite hit McIntosh, and the puck skates to the to the red line. Esposito over the blue line. Esposito still carrying. Finally, the puck knocked off his stick, I believe, by Hasselman, actually, as he tried to carry behind the net. Nichols takes that shot, bounces to the corner. Brown against Freer, and Freer taps it up where Nichols picks it up and takes it to his own zone. Nichols over the blue line. Hurley intercepts that. Rails it around to Amston. Amston hits Rusky Jones. Nichols says hello to Rusky Jones.
Axel did well to hold his ground there.
Roby.
He gave just as good as he got.
Hurley with it in the corner, being muscled off the puck by Hunt. Hunt puts it up, and Amston's forced into his own zone to pick it up. Esposito giving chase. Or battling against Roby. Roby can't quite hit Hurley, and Willis picks that up. And Burns with it in his own zone. Burns, Amston, Campbell, Rusky Jones. Rusky Jones can't center. And it's up but not out. Fired up to McCog. McCog over the blue line. He's got Campbell with him, centering. Great work there. Puck just bouncing in front, but Stampede can't get a piece of it. McCullum cross ice to Freer. McCullum on the blue line. Hits McCog over the blue line. Shot. Tapped around to the corner. McCullum losing it. And it's fired all the way down the ice by Hopkins. No icing. Sulphur forced behind his own net.
45 seconds to go in the period as well.
Harrison with it now over the blue line. Harrison trying to tee it up on the blue line. Knocked off his stick. He's forced to give chase. Back in his own zone. True. Firing it in. And Devils controlling in their own zone behind the net. Hopkins. Esposito now. Great work out there by the Devils to get it out, but then it's just banged back in. With only moments left in this first period. Stampede kind of hungry to get something on it, and Coyle can't keep it in. Cross ice, down the ice call, and that ends that first period. Oh, Joel, what's your take on that first period? Looking back at that, what would you say, Joel? What would you say about that? Kind of nobody really wanting the puck.
No, Stampede are looking really, really strong out there. They're really taking command of this game, but you often get that in this smaller barn.
Yeah.
The Devils are chasing them around a little bit, but 2-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's still, there's still a lot of opportunity coming in the second.
Yeah, definitely surprised with that shorthanded goal, which shows that anything can happen.
Yeah. And especially from your captain too. The boys can go into the room and be real buoyed up by that.
Yeah, bit of physicality, a few goals, kind of what everything a hockey game should be made of.
Exactly, that's what we want. That's what the people came out to see.
Yeah.
Sold out crowd here again tonight as well.
Yeah.
I believe there still might be a couple of tickets left for tomorrow, but they'll be I'd say we'd have.
we're back here. Second period. The battle between SkyCity Stampede and Canterbury Red Devils. I'm Dave Dubnik.
Joel LeBreton.
And we're here to bring you this live action, live stream. Some interesting facts here. We have this Kubanovsky out of Russia. He's quite young. I think he's only like 15 or 16 years old.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, doing a great job for the Red Devils.
It's going to be interesting to see how much intensity everyone comes out with here.
Yeah.
Had a little time to sit down, talk about it.
Yep. Please keep your seat backs and seat trays in the full and upright position. Please remain seated with your seat belts fastened because we're in for a bumpy ride.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bumpy ride on this one, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Amston with it. Amston. Ross on the blue line. Orr intercepts that. Bumped off the puck, though. Hodge taps it in. Where Harrison tries to tap a bouncing puck and can't. Shot, and Hasselman's forced to make the save. A little bit of neutral zone mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all it takes. That's what I said before, wasn't it? You know, it's a game of mistakes. You just got to capitalize on when your opponent does something wrong.
Yeah, I think that Rusky Jones and I think it was Hopkins maybe, or Nichols hit open ice.
Odds. Yeah,
that was quite big. Brown on the point, shot, kick to the corner.
Good little tip there by Hodge.
Yes, Hodge in the corner. Stampede collecting it. Harrison taps it up to the red line. Or taps it back to Hodge on the red line, who carries back into his own zone. Winding up, Hodge. Or Hodge again, still fighting for it. And Nichols at the red line dumps it back in. Burns across to Amston. Back to Burns. And McIntosh on the money. And Carey just covers up with Chalice in hot pursuit.
I always got a soft spot for Lachlan Hodge. He came and played with the mighty Matt Damons one year at one of our tournaments.
Oh, in the Masters?
No, it wasn't Masters. It must have been something else. There's no way he would have been available for Masters.
I just remember playing against Matt Damons in the Masters. They were
a formidable side.
Behind the net. And Canterbury dumps it back again behind the net. McCollum clears it up and put down by Kobe. Icing is the call. Wow.
Fast and furious, but not a lot of structure there at the moment. Everyone's had a bit too much time to sit down, getting a little excited, I think. Just need to settle in a little bit more, you know?
Keogh big hit on McCollum in the corner. So they've come out with that physicality early in the piece. So icing the face-off is all the way down in Canterbury zone to the left of Carey. McCollum with it on the blue line, taps it up, lost, and banged all the way on the net. McCollum behind his net. Huge shot pass. And the bounce off the board sets McIntosh up for a one-timer.
The longest stretch pass I've ever seen in my life.
Off the boards, but nicely done. Well timed.
Yeah. Great dead center shot there by McIntosh as well.
Yeah, right
in the middle.
That's not like him.
No, definitely not. He usually shoots where the goalie isn't.
He'd be the first one to tell you. Aim for where the goalie isn't. Delamore gives chase into the corner against Hurley, and Hopkins with him as well. Hurley says hello.
Staples ball there.
To Ball, and it's up but not out. And tapped around the boards behind the net. Roby with it in the corner. Roby feeds Hurley in the corner. Hurley taps it around to Rusky Jones, who fires it back down around to Roby. Roby's getting pushed against the boards and can't control it. Cole takes a shot off a stick bounces to the boards. And another shot wide. Cole feeds Resky Jones over the blue line. Jones, shot, scores!
What a snipe.
Upstairs. Postage size hole, I think.
Yep.
Postage stamp size hole.
Yep.
Off of Carey's blocker corner, top shoulder.
Got the angle.
Yeah.
Straight across net.
Boy, made up for that. You know, obviously he wasn't too rattled from that hit.
Definitely not. Definitely not. It's good to see him coming up. Like, he's really grown as a player in the last 2 seasons.
That pushes it out, 3-1. Stampede. And then Burns has it in his own zone. Flicked up to the red line. Devlin. Across to Ross. Ross on the boards. Hits Devlin behind the net. Amston takes a cracker. That his little snapshot was just a bullet.
Got the ref with his arm up here.
Okay, looks like Stampede, and there it is. Whistle. Stampede had a bit of a delayed penalty going on there.
Big money made a big race for the bench there, but that's a long way to sprint on the in the second period.
But to be fair, for Hasselman, that would be like 3 steps.
3 steps, yeah, true.
Those big jolly green giant legs of his. You know.
All right, let's see what the call is here. Yeah, I have to say.
So it's a trip.
Trip.
Chance. Let's see if the Stampede can not make a mistake.
Yeah,
and try and get the puck
let's
in.
see if we can get that power play above -1.
McIntosh on the point.
Yeah, I think they like having him up top there. He's kind of quarterback the whole thing.
Yeah. McCullum, McIntosh, and again, McIntosh feeds the corner. And he's got Ross with it now in the corner. Feeds McCullum. McCullum. Cross ice, Chalice. Chalice skates it behind the net. Centers off a skate. Beautiful centering pass, but it came off a skate and forces McIntosh all the way back into his own zone where McCullum is fed.
Well, to be fair, it's McIntosh probably isn't really that used to playing defense.
No. Well, shot. Puck bounces in front. Great save, or off a stick, but forced all the way back where Chalice picks it up behind his own net. McCullum. Hits Ross. Hits McIntosh. McIntosh behind the net. Chalice shot. And finally got what they wanted.
Wow.
Chalice to Ross. One times it.
Great pass there through the paint. Devlin just says, thank you.
Oh, was that Devlin?
Yes.
Sorry, yeah. No, I think it was Ross.
Oh, was it Ross?
Ross, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And
they've both got the same mustache at the moment. It's hard to tell them apart.
Stop it. Tell one of them to get rid of the mustache. But the way he snuck in behind all the activity.
Yeah, goalie's pulled across
everything
the
was
side.
behind, and he snuck in behind that old chestnut.
Yeah.
So that pushes it out to 4-1. Where McCollum over the red line, rails it behind the net. Picks it up on the blue line. McCollum shot off the blocker and into the dead zone, forcing the faceoff deep in Canterbury zone.
Yeah, McCullum and Ross both kind of fitted in really well into the team lineup.
Yeah, great to see, stitching well with anyone, but love working with McIntosh. McCog facing off for Stampede. Off the point, quick shot from McCollum. And Campbell taps it to the corner. Back to the point, Freer. McCollum shot off of a skate. I think that was actually a Stampede skate that blocked that.
That was off Suffer, yeah.
And Canterbury push it in. Stampede not able to clear it. Bit of bouncing around there. And finally, McCog just flicks it out to the blue line. A big offside there.
It was probably.
I don't think he was so far offside
he's
that
lucky he didn't go 2 inches to the right there and put it on net. Otherwise,
yes,
would have
good
been
point.
delivered
Good point.
offside.
A great opportunity there for Campbell, who hangs onto it in the deep slot and gives a little sneaky little backhand, or with it over the blue line.
Yeah, Campbell's another one of those young guys who's coming up nicely.
And back to the point. Shot and covered up. Nice little shot there. Yeah. But on the money. But
nice little cheap shot from Sean Brown there.
Yeah, Brown just
on Hurley.
But that was his shot. That was right on the money. And then Hurley comes sliding in. And Brown just wanted to let him know not a great thing to do. Face off to the right of Hasselman. Deep in Stampede zone. Amston, Hurley. And Delamore picks it up on his own blue line. Over the red line. Flicks it in. And forcing Hasselman to bat it all the way along the boards to the point where Willis picks it up. Willis feeds ball. And Amston with it. Amston, he's got some room. He's got a lane, centering. Hurley takes a shot deflected wide. Rusky Jones along the boards. Hurley again takes a shot, and it's blocked. He likes those slap shots. Hunt over the blue line, shot off the timber, and Hurley and Hunt go down. Wow, lots of end-to-end action. Big shots.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's great to see. As I said, they're going to be coming out with that intensity.
Although it's 4-1, you wouldn't know it watching the ice. 13-13 left in this second period. Kozuni facing off for the Devils, and he takes a shot. And Hasselman gloves that down. And Cope and Coyle exchanging emails, do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I think he tried to give him a high five and he didn't have his hand up.
Maybe. I don't know. Coyle's going off. Uh-oh. Chance for...
That's a bit of an interesting one there.
We're off in 2 minutes.
Yeah, got tied up in front of the net and had the second Devils player come in there. And the ref came in, hands go up.
Yes. Words are said.
Words are said.
Tempers
feelings
flare.
are hurt.
Yeah. Hunt facing off for the Devils.
See this
rails
PK in action again.
Nichols on the blue line. Hunt, shot. Kick save. Nichols tries to put it to the corner.
Here we go. Look at this.
Hurley. Shot. And I don't think that Curie knew exactly where that... Oh, no, he didn't.
I think it was Freya who kicked that from behind the blue line straight onto the red, and Devlin was just had the steam up, skated straight into it.
Yeah, Devlin, sorry, yeah. Great workout by Devlin.
He's another great player, another good pickup, you know.
Keeps scrambling for it. And they want it. McCullum picks it up on the corner. McCullum hits Devlin in the corner. Nothing in that, referee says.
No.
And Devlin's just trying to... I'm not sure if he's trying to get on top of it or away from it.
I think he was trying to get on top of it, but make it look like he was getting away from it, if you know what I mean.
Devils turn it around, push it all the way into Stampede area. Back to the point, shot, save. Esposito spinorama. Great save again by Hasselman. And finally tapped out by McCullum, allowing that change Esposito with it behind his net. Nichols.
Now 40 seconds left in the power play.
Ball over the blue line. His pass deflected by McIntosh. And Burns puts a skip in his step to pick up that puck on the blue line. And big shot all the way down from Amston.
C-Mac wasn't there to pick it up this time, though. No.
So Hodge over the red line, over the blue line, shot, knocked off the glass and rolls all the way back down into Devils territory. And there's no time left in that penalty, so they get away with it. And icing is the call. So, that was a very active 2 minutes.
That was a lot of back and forward again. A lot of aggression too. You just see the intensity in it from both sides.
Yeah, so Stampede get away without any points scored on them in that penalty kill. But great work by the Devils. A couple of really good shots. And face off to the left of Curie. Back to the point. Shot. Bounces wide. McCullum picks that up. Back behind the net to McIntosh. McIntosh centers. And feeds Freer, who didn't quite get it on target. And McCullum with it in his own zone. Big feed to McIntosh to Freer. Freer. Shot. Gets the shot away, but was...
He did well to get that shot away.
Heavily harassed. And Calzuni dogging Chalice. And McIntosh with it over the blue line. McIntosh, his shot deflected by Willis and rolls to the corner. McCullum centering, broken up by Hopkins, I believe. Brown, sorry, and tapped out. Here's a chance for Freer. Freer over the blue line, shot off a shoulder and onto the boards. Huge end-to-end action. Shot off the glass, rolls out right onto Roby's stick, who can't quite hit Hurley. And again, tapped off the boards. And McCullum's forced to give chase against Orr. McCullum can't push it out. And it's still in. Rusky Jones hassling, but it's banged out. Gallagher can't collect it, and it rolls to the corner where McCullum for the Stampede pick it up. Hurley just taps it up. And fired all the way around to Nichols. Esposito has it in the corner. Carries behind the net, being harassed by Roby. And Hurley harassing Esposito now. And the old low roof.
I know, hitting one of those many
Oh,
championship banners that hang up there.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to get a bigger ring.
We need a bigger ring to hold all the banners, yes.
Stop it. Big shout out to all you people listening. Last I heard, Swarm was beating the Thunder.
Oh, really?
Phoenix Thunder 2-1, but I'm sure that's
where are they, in Dunedin? Or
yes, in Dunedin. I think that's an old score, though. We'll see if we can't get an update on that. Shot off the face-off. Good save by Carey. Puck rolls behind the net. McCog pushed off the puck in the corner. And Delamore with it. Delamore. Feeds Duel loses it. Campbell can't quite feed Sofer. Call with it. Campbell bumped off the puck. But Campbell picks it up again over the blue line. Shot. Off the
right on target.
Right on target. Yeah.
Looking for that sneaky rebound pass, you know.
Campbell's in it. Big hit by Campbell behind the net. And True picks up a puck in the neutral zone. Duell being harassed by Campbell, who steals it from him and Campbell leaves for the wrong.
A few lazy drop passes from both sides there.
Dallymore drops it. And Hasselman gloves it, bats to the corner where true. And huge speed by Harrison, closes in on the net. And back to the point, shot again by Burns. Harrison picks it up off the boards to the corner. And that pass rolls all the way down into behind the Stampede net. Harrison, big lead pass, chipped away. Huge harassment there by Devlin. And Burns with it on his blue line. Hits Harrison. Devlin along the boards. Leaves for Ross. Ross carries it in. Shot. Great save. Great swipe at it by Harrison, but can't do anything with it. And Hodge here on the red line. Hodge over the blue line. And Burns shuts that down on just over the blue line. Burns taps it up and out.
Yeah, there's definitely no quitting this Devils team, is there? They are still going hard.
I'm not sure if the whistle exists.
Oh, we've got another. Oh, no.
Amston with it. But there hasn't been a whistle.
Huge
passenger
I saw the
play.
hand up there. I thought it might have been a delayed penalty.
Just delayed offside, yeah. Brown with it over the blue line. Tries it a little sneaky behind the back. Flick to himself. Doesn't work. Along the boards against McIntosh. Shot from the point. Esposito trying to tap that down in front or picks it up in the corner. Feeds Brown. Broken up by McIntosh on the blue line.
Yeah, Devils are just throwing everything at the
Chalice.
there.
Chalice over the blue line. Centering. That was a spectacular tap. And I don't know how it didn't go in.
I know, just a little
right through the
right through the legs.
Yeah. But the referee was there to see that. From my angle, from my Stampede eyes, it went in.
No, exactly. They always go in. Yeah. C-Mac getting tangled up in the net there as well.
So, net's off its moorings, so offside face-off. And puck rolls to the red line. Freer to McCullum. Shot from the red line.
So we can get that
face-off.
That face-off in the zone.
What are we looking at? We're looking at 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 4-1 for the Stampede. Face off to the right. Carey. Hurley in the corner. Back to McCullum. McCullum. Can't quite get it in front where Rusky Jones carries along the boards. Feeds Roby. Roby loses it. And it's a battle behind the net. Boyle being pushed off the puck by Rusky Jones. And he back to the point. Shot. Nice little shot from McCullum. Kicked to the side by Carey, and then another shot where Hurley just about
bouncing puck there.
Those are the worst.
I know. Carey just couldn't get his hand on it. You know?
Don't you just hate those bouncing pucks?
Nice move by Hurley there behind the net as well. Hit the brakes, flew right by him.
Yeah, beautiful work. Great skating here in the second period. To the corner. Hunt pushed against the boards. And it's to the point and kept in. And Hunt again. Fires it up to the red line. Burns picks it up. Devlin centering. And
Harrison just couldn't quite corral it there.
Yeah, it was getting close. The target was getting too close. And it rolls all the way down into Stampede area. Burns. Off of Devlin's skate to the corner where Harrison gives chase. Leaves for Devlin. Centering pass. No one there to pick it up. And Rescue Jones. That's Ollie Rescue Jones out there for the Stampede. And Freer. Cross ice to Devlin. Shot right on the money. Or not on the money, I guess.
I was wondering if we're going to have a situation where we have 2 Freers and 2 Rusky
Rusky Jones.
Brotherly love lineup, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So face off to the left with True. Puck railed around behind the net. Some great work where McIntosh picks it up and bounces it off the pads quite dangerously. It looked like not much in it, but
yeah. Well, they're those little sneaky ones you got to watch out from C-Mac, you know.
He's a sneaky little rascal. He is sneaky.
You've got him, and he'll just toe drag it around you and tuck it in a little above the pad there.
Not sure if it's him or the Enigma stick.
Definitely the Enigma stick.
20% more goals in every Enigma stick.
Exactly. Yeah. I hear he personally rubs goal-scoring magic on every single one as well.
Yeah, Phil.
That's why he hasn't scored tonight.
And Freer knocked down off the puck as it's collected by the Devils behind their own net. Brown with it, being dogged by McIntosh. Big feed pass to Esposito, knocked off his stick, but Orr picks that up over the blue line. Orr carrying, shot, and Hasselman, that narrow shot.
He lost that as well. That was a great play by Esposito.
He kind of knew he had it, but he didn't know where.
Well, that's a tough position to be in as a defenseman. You know, you make that extended poke check and you commit it out. And fortunately for the Red Devils, it went to Orr, who just carried across the line and got a really dangerous chance. And a face-off in the zone as well.
Great to see. Freer. Campbell can't get his pass away. Finally, McCollum picks it up in his own zone. Big lead pass. McCog hits Sulphur. Sulphur takes the shot. Puck bounces in front. And McCog's just saying hello.
I know, yeah.
Playing leapfrog or hopscotch. But there was nothing in it. He was powering, and I think he was knocked at the last second.
Yeah, didn't have time to hit the brakes.
I mean,
maybe he needs C-Mac to put a new edge on those skates for him.
Yes. I know that Richard and Lindsay will be watching their son playing tonight. Big hello to you guys. Sulphur picks it up in front. Sulphur held on to it beautifully. I think he did a little bit of a head thing.
He did. And I mean, the patience to skate through the center of the, just off the blue plane through the middle there.
Deep slot.
And have the time to, take that time and slip it 5-hole.
The Devils have to, climb all over that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can't be giving away that part of the ice. Not that easily.
All right.
Veteran move by Soffer there.
We're looking at 5-1.
5-1, 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in this period.
Hopkins facing off for the Devils against Rusky Jones. No, Kelzinick. Carrying. Roby
went down hard there.
Bounced right off the puck. And there'll be an interference call there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I wish I could play that back.
Yeah, me too.
So here's a chance for the Stampede with only sort of 2 minutes, 13 seconds in the second period.
So almost going to see out this whole period in power play. Yeah, I think that's something the Red Devils are really going to have to pay attention to. You know, you're down 5-1, you've been playing a physical game. You don't want to start racking up silly penalties. Can't let
emotion
dictate your game.
And McIntosh pushed off the puck by Hunt. Chalice, McCullum. McCullum feeds McIntosh. McIntosh dances past Kelson, can't quite get it past Willis, who fires it all the way down the ice.
Almost hit the backboards on the full there.
And Chalice picks it up behind his net. Hits Freer. Freer over the blue line. He's got Ross with him. Carries behind the net. Along the boards, Chalice. Chalice can't keep it in as McCullum. McCullum and Ross.
Little devil on devil violence there.
I think they were watching, so intense on watching the skater that they actually didn't catch that they ran into each other.
Gotta keep your head up.
Yeah. That old chestnut. So we're 1 minute 20 seconds.
Minute 9 in that power play.
Of course, Richie. Tanner, Cash, and Kingston. Big hello to you guys. It's way past your bedtime, but I know it's hard to turn the laptop off. Thanks for watching. Perhaps you're having a pizza late tonight. And Ross just taps it in, and Freer gives chase. Behind the net. Bounces off to McCullum's stick. Carries to the point. Cross ice. Chalice. Chalice centering. Puck rolls in front. Sets. Oh my goodness. McCullum. Ross to McCullum.
That was a sneaky one, like far side post in along the ice as well. Poor Kerry thought he had everything covered, but just that real sharp angle there.
I think they call that the sneaky moose. What a off the post. They had the poor Kerry going from post to post.
Oh, yeah.
McCullum loving this. Ross set him up beautifully.
Night.
And Devlin caught in Harrison's skates. And finally it ends up over the blue line. And Ross still controlling. Puck rolls into Devlin's stick, who carries behind the net. Boxed off the Bach. Harrison.
Oh, yep. Delayed penalty. I was talking about before about making those silly errors and letting your emotions take control. No call on the initial hit. Red Devils player decides to bury Devlin in the back while he's on the ground. You're back on the penalty kill.
So there's only seconds left in this. As Hodge.
It looks like the scoreboard has gone dead there. I'm not sure what's going on.
I think it's 25 seconds. They want to put 25 seconds. I don't know.
Yep.
Just having a chat here.
Roughing.
Big thanks to Ted and Dan Graham, who, they scrubbed this place up pretty nicely.
Oh, I still rate it as the best rink in the country.
Yeah,
the facilities, the service.
And Randy, managers Kendall and Randy, make this place sparkle for this game. It's kind of sad that the boys have to rough up the ice. I guess we're going to call that the period.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do it.
I don't know what happened there.
So that penalty will slide perfectly into the third period.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you want
We're back here, Queenstown Ice Arena. Longest night of the year. It could be. Canterbury's feeling that. 6-1 at the moment between the Canterbury Red Devils and the local hometown heroes, the SkyCity Stampede. I'm Dave Dubnick.
Joel LeBreton.
And we're bringing you the live play-by-play in the color tonight. And you know what's exciting is after all this, tomorrow night, 6:30, starts all over again.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes, same. Yep, same villains and same heroes.
And depending on where you're watching from, that could be either team, really, couldn't it?
Yeah, big thank you for all you people out listening to this. If you're nearby, I think there might be the odd ticket left for tomorrow night. Don't worry about that silly little thing called rugby. Come out and watch hockey.
Oh, this is hockey town. This ain't rugby town.
Yeah, that's right. It's called hockey town for a reason. And big battle here again. You know, big shout out to Nikki Thompson, who sort of kind of quietly runs this show. You know, I see her here really early organizing.
Yep, keeping everyone like you and me in line.
Keeping us in line all the way down to the little ones that are selling tickets. So huge shout out, Nikki. It's the volunteers that keep hockey running here in New Zealand. Face off. Back McCullum picks it up behind his own net. Leaves for McIntosh. Who leaves for Chalice. Fires it up to Devlin. Freer with it. Along the boards.
That's what you want in the first 2 minutes of the third period, isn't it? 5-on-4.
Yeah, so controlling that puck. McCullum. McIntosh. Shot straight on the money. Rebound. Bounces around. Swiping at it. McIntosh can't keep it in. Feeds McCullum over the blue line. Skates it into the corner. McCullum. Cross Chalice. Along the near boards. Takes it to the corner. Ross picks that up. Ross feeds Chalice. And leaves it behind the net from McIntosh. Oh, sorry, Freer. And McIntosh is forced all the way back into his own zone, giving the Canterbury Red Devils a chance to change, have a line change. McIntosh over the red line. Skates it all the way in, takes it to the corner, rails it up against the boards, feeds the point on the near side, Burns. Shot, puck off the glass. Great shot by Freer. Taps in.
Ooh, good thinking by Kerry there to get across and
Harrison
tie Harrison there up.
Harrison was quite close to getting that goal. And Esposito with it in his own zone. Fires it all the way down the ice. Orr's down there. Sneaky little. And he's dogging Burns. Freer. Devlin over the red line. Devlin steps into traffic, or Hodge pushes him off the puck. Fired up. And that penalty's gone. So well done to the Devils.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in for the Devils here as well. You know, you're 6-1 down. You know, you just can start chipping away at it, but time isn't your friend.
No.
You know, you've got to really ramp up that intensity, try and make something happen early, get that momentum going.
And penalties is not the way to do it either. So
that's true. Yeah, starting the period 5-on-4, not the best idea.
Devils. That's Orr over the red line, blue line, and Amston lines him up to knock it off his stick behind the net. Dusky Jones, Hurley feeding Roby. Just not enough pepper on that, or too much pepper on that.
It was close to winning that race, but not quite.
Yeah. So that'll be an icing called, and it'll be dragged all the way back into Stampede area.
Nice. Just give a bit of a shout out to Rachel, Kelvin, and Ruby sitting there watching from home.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer.
Hope you guys are doing well.
A lot warmer there. Chris, Jono, if you're watching, Frankie, boat all gassed up and ready to go. Big day tomorrow. Jones can't collect it. Hunt just bangs it back in. And icing is the call. I think Hunt was just trying to tap that away, but put more heat on it than he needed to, and it rolls all the way down for an icing call. Max McCog, facing off for the Stampede. Call. Taps one. Willis picks that up. And Duell feeds Boyle to Gallagher, who muscles his way behind the net. Still has it. Ball centers. Tapped. And Duell takes a shot. Kicked wide. Yep.
Oh, that was a dangerous pass through the middle there.
Yeah, Gallagher couldn't quite collect it, and it ends up all the way back in the Devils' zone. Campbell rails it all the way around, allowing a line change for the Stampede. Now, True to Freer. Caught on the and fired up, but not out. Where Sofer gets a piece of it, but not enough. And the puck rolls into Stampede area. McCollum to Chalice. And it's banged back in. McCollum. Cross behind the net to Cole. Great race there.
Yeah, it's good to see from the Red Devils. They're really, really pushing here, aren't they? Like, they're trying to make something happen.
That was Rees who just kind of muscled Cole off the puck. And here's Freer with it over the blue line. And Monk and Freer collide on the blue line. Freer.
What do we got here?
Mac.
Ah. Hey, Paul, or is that an interference, was it?
Kelly, too much body there. So Colin McIntosh getting a 2-minute break in the ice box. Face-off chance for the Devils. Face-off way deep Stampede area. 5-on-4. If they're ever going to do it, chip away at it, like you say, Joel, they're going to have to do it here at this.
This is the time to, you get one, you get two, get a bit of pep in your step. You come into tomorrow's night's game, fresh, ready to roll, a little confidence.
All right, Esposito now, blue line, over the red line, tries to step past Freer, but he just spins it back onto Carey's stick all the way back down where Nichols picks it up. Hunt with it behind the net. Hunt decides to carry. Blue line. Esposito over the blue line now. Stops along the boards. Hunt with it on the blue line. Shot. And here's a chance for Devlin. Can't quite pick that up. And some great defensive work there by Stampede.
Devlin did well to win that race there.
Yeah. And he's just muscled up against the boards. And Esposito turns it around over the red line. Blue line tries to drag it. Shut down heavily. And Ball couldn't get a piece of that. And Roby cross ice. Tangled up in.
He almost brought it back, though, from the skates there. He just ran out of real estate before he got to carry.
Got too close to the end of the dock.
He did.
And that was Ross.
You don't want to be going to a goalie's house hot like that. You're likely to lose your skates.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, coming in hot. All right, so behind the net. Shot. Narrow angle. With 8 seconds left in the penalty to McIntosh, 6-1.
Another one of those missed high fives. Amston went to give him a high five, and the guy didn't have his hand up to receive it. Got to stay alert out there, you know.
That's right. You never know who
Someone wants to give you a high five, you got to give it back.
You don't know who your friend is.
Exactly.
13 minutes and 6 seconds left in this third period. Rusky Jones facing off for the Stampede, deep in Stampede territory. And that penalty's done, I believe. So now we're 5-on-5. True in the neutral zone. Coyle. Rusky Jones taps it up to Roby. He had Hurley boogieing down that through the slot, but just couldn't get it to him. Has railed around where True picks it up. Cam True. Hurley behind the net. Carries to the corner. Willis rubbing him out against the boards. And a big, dangerous little flick.
Little knuckle puck floater there.
Sort of a 5-iron.
Yeah. More like a pitching wedge.
Okay, yeah. Out of the sand.
Out of the sand.
All right, Coyle shot off a pad.
Definitely would have been one of my golf shots. It would have gone straight back into the sand.
Campbell taps it in, and Hodge picks that up in his own zone. Cross ice. To Henry, who can't collect it. And Orr now. Orr. Henry takes that shot, forcing Hasselman to cover up. So that's Tidangi Henry, Gareth. This is his first season. Boy, he's doing well.
He's looking good out there.
Yeah. Lots of hustle. Like you said, Joel, I think there's a lot of young players, once they get a little bit of seasoning.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the Marcos are really good for that. These guys are getting their minutes in more than they would on their home teams,
Yeah.
Get to have a skate.
Oh, slippery move there by Rusky Jones. Loses it in front of the net. And just luckily, it wasn't collected by the Canterbury Red Devils.
There's a couple of Red Devils there who are having a good crack at it. You got to try and collect those gifts whenever they get given to you, really, don't you?
I think Hasselman just assumed that Rusky Jones was going to go behind the net with it, and that was all normal, except he didn't take the puck with him.
And that's the good goalie instinct as well. You always see they follow the puck regardless of what they think is going to happen for that exact reason.
Just enough crazy.
Yeah, just enough crazy, exactly.
And McIntosh in the corner. Big feed up from Ball. And McIntosh picks that up in his own zone and is pushed off the puck by Hodge.
Yeah, Hodge did a good job to tie him up there.
Tangled him up.
That's definitely not a player that you want to leave unattended.
Hasselman, all the way out of his net, takes a swipe at the puck, doesn't really collect it, and it rolls to the corner.
Good work from Amston there to keep control of that because, Joel was in a very vulnerable position.
Amston misses on that shot as he glided into the slot. And Esposito with it in his own zone slows things down. Got McIntosh dogging him. And he turns it around. McIntosh picks it up. That's centering.
That's the first thing they teach you. You don't fuck around. You don't mess around in the defensive zone.
In your own zone. So back to the corner. Harrison. Cross to McCullum. McCullum Freer. Shot wide. Once again. Chalice. Can't hit Freer, so it rolls off to the red line. And in behind. Now, you're right. Time is an enemy. 9 minutes, 16 seconds left. And
And
Ross.
you'll see them start taking more and more little risks like that, going for the long stretch pass, playing the man up.
Yeah, Harrison steps past Hunt, who is trying that hip check. And it ends up in the corner. And Hunt ends up with it. Bounces it all the way down on McCollum's stick. Turns it around. Ross over the blue line. Shot off the glass. Devlin carries to the corner. Centering pass. Puck rolling in front. And Willis taken down. And he's going to get penalized for that.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
The best thing Connor Harrison could do is step out of that because the penalty's been called. You don't want to complicate things.
Yep. And it just goes to show how much Harrison's grown as a player now, especially now that he's wearing a letter. Like 3 years ago, that story in front of the net ends very differently.
That's right, yeah. So we'll just iron this out. I think that's Nichols again. Gonna sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, Willis. In front of the net.
No, he's doing the right thing in front of the net. You can't let someone just stand there and take up that real estate. But, the second after the whistle, all those little things I was talking about before, a little bit of discipline,
Yeah, maybe frustration.
A little frustration, true, yeah.
All right, here's a chance. Stampede, maybe they're trying to decide on their fifth player.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to just...
And by no means are the Devils...
No, sorry. I just thought maybe it was...
double. Yeah, and by no means are the Devils playing badly. They're playing very, very well. They're just, Stampede just getting those opportunities, making them count.
So, chance for Stampede. Practice some more on their power plays. McCollum with it in his own zone. He's got McIntosh. He's got Ross. Freer. McCollum fires it on net. Kick to the side. Can't keep it in. McIntosh. And it rolls all the way down, forcing Chellis to give chase.
Chellis to give chase. I like that.
Jordan Chellis' wife, Libby Jean ex-Hay, now Chellis. She's back in the skating fray with the Wild. It was great to see her out skating last weekend in Christchurch.
There we go. Orr's going in for some more.
McIntosh along the boards. Circling and kept in nicely by McCollum. Across to McIntosh. Shot off the pad. As far as I know, you can never shoot it through shin pads. That's a famous coach once told me that. No matter how hard you shoot, you can never get it through a shin pad. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah.
Am I right? All right. So, although lots of shots, Canterbury's pushing them out, getting a little bit lucky, but keeping them Stampede from getting points. 7 minutes, 7 seconds left.
Face off on the Beerworks logo there as well.
Tapping it up and out. Beautifully done by the Devils.
And 25 seconds to go and penalty.
Amston with it. Amston. Burns. Feeds Hurley. Boogies along the boards. Hurley leaves for Burns. Back to Amston. Amston's shot blocked. Kick to the corner. Can't keep it in and it rolls out. And that'll be it for the penalty. So Devils come out unscathed from that mistake in front of the net. Rusky Jones with it. Hits Burns. Burns leaves for Jones. To Amston in the corner. All the way around to Burns.
Esposito just dogging them down there.
A lot of energy still. Rusky Jones shot. Deflected wide. Slipped onto Rusky Jones's, who runs into Amston. And Esposito ends up with it over the blue line. Esposito shot and scores! Hasselman had it under his pad when he went to stand up. I think continue to slide in. So, although they were able to push off that penalty kill and actually lever off that and end up with a goal.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. A bit going on behind the play there as well. It'll be interesting to see what kind of comes of that. But 6-2 the score.
Puck rolls all the way down. You used that word pep in the step, and look at that. Canterbury working really hard. It's
all it takes, just a little
change of momentum.
Yeah, a little change of momentum, You look at them come out, finishing their checks.
And broken up by the Stampede, but at offside. He's not happy with the call.
He doesn't agree.
No, that's Cope. Not happy with that offside call. So, offside.
Doesn't look like they're bringing it back to the middle, so
no.
I guess not.
I think it wouldn't be the first offside that these referees have ever called.
I'd say they're pretty handy at it.
Aaron Chisholm, he's a good veteran, as well as Adam Nagy. They've got this linesing under control. Puck bounces onto Orr's stick. And finally Harrison taps it into Canterbury zone. Carries behind the net. Harrison can't tap it behind the net, so Harrison ends up with it in the corner. Tangled up in referee Button's skates and turned around. And there'll be a tackling call on McCullum. And I think that was Orr that was practicing his Zamboni as he skidded across the ice.
Sliding into home plate there.
Yeah. So here's it. Oh, that was Connor Harrison, I think. That
cross check.
Yeah. So chance power play. For the Sky, no, not for the Sky, for the Canterbury Red Devils. They've got Hunt, Esposito, Nichols, duo out there for the big power. Puck drop into the corner. Puck rolls to the point. Tap back in, or gives chase. Stampede can't get it out. Centering pass, not quite on the money. Where Esposito does a spin, scores! Spinorama through a whole bunch of bodies.
What a goal! Pushes off the defenseman, spins around, top shelf. Thanks for coming.
Yes, well, 6-3. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left.
And as I was saying at the after period break, it's what Red Devils need to do. They need to have the belief, and they might not take this game, but you carry that into tomorrow night.
Chip away.
Chip away, exactly.
Devils came down to Queenstown looking for a soul to steal. They were in a bind and way behind. and Queenstown turns it around.
C-Mac says, not today. Yeah. Not today, Satan.
Stop it.
Talking about snatching souls, that one is going to take a little wind out of the sails.
Again, crowding the net. He's so handy up inside his, bubble.
You've played against him. You can stick hand on this.
I don't call it playing against him. No, I look like a pylon as he skates around. Yeah, no, he's pretty. pretty handy there inside, close proximity playing. All right. So Hodge facing off against McIntosh. Brown tries to hit Esposito. And it rolls to the corner.
Yeah, this line with Esposito and Orr, it's been paying dividends for them.
Yes, and McIntosh, close range shot. Here's a chance for Esposito over the red line, blue line, all by himself. Shot, great work by.
Oh, Big Money says no.
Yes. That's Hasselman. And McIntosh waiting for help because he had a chance there too. And Hurley, now McIntosh behind the net. Ooh. Hurley can't nudge it in. And it leaves it for Carey to just fire it down the ice onto Hasselman's stick. The puck was just rolling around
just
there.
Just goalie to goalie passes.
Unguarded. There's Resky Jones, blue line, leaves for Hurley. And Coyle takes a shot. Ooh. Just wide. Miscommunicating there on the blue line.
Nice tip by Resky Jones in front of the net there.
Yeah, just kind of ended up on the pad, but could have just as easily ended up in the net. So we're looking at 2 minutes, 59 seconds left. Roby, Resky Jones, Hurley for the Stampede. Coyle on the point. Behind the net, Hurley. Being dogged by Hopkins, who ends up with it, fires it up, and just tapped up. And robbed was Calzoun, and tapped all the way down the ice again. Waved off Hurley into the boards. Hurley leaves against the boards for Resky Jones, all alone there. Resky Jones to the corner, where McCollum picks that up. Back to the point for Hurley. Shot.
Oh, no. Broken stick.
Yeah, that can't. Oh. He'll be called playing with a broken stick.
Really? I thought he did quite well to drop that.
I thought he dropped. Maybe I'm calling it wrong. Maybe I'm calling it wrong. Yeah.
High stick.
Interesting. I wonder if he gets his money back on that stick. Did you see all the goals fall out of it when it broke?
I guess it had none left in it. That's why it broke. Its time was done.
Empty, yeah,
it's empty.
Empty of goals.
Emptied the clip.
Oh, well, again, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left in this third period. I think we had a penalty at 2:13 last period too, didn't we, Joel?
Yeah.
So. This is interesting.
Yeah, interesting having it on the outside of the zone there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Well, I obviously don't know hockey like I should. Face off in the offside dot, or with it, controlling. Being dogged by Sulphur. Hunt rails it in. Hasselman tries to stop it by the net. He cleared up all the way down onto Carey's stick, where Hunt picks it up. Motors all the way down around the net. Hunt still carrying across the Nichols. Nichols centers or takes a shot.
Ooh.
Just wide. And Sulphur rails it down the ice. Carey leaves where McCog harasses him. Where Esposito picks it up. Shot just wide. And it rolls all the way down the ice. Lively boards and lively glass. And Devlin's harassing And Willis has it. Esposito over the red line. Esposito carries to the corner. Sets Willis up on the blue line. Willis off an ankle. Shot again off the glass. And Burns. And Burns took a swipe at it, but it was batted back onto Joel Hasselman's pads, who covers up quickly. 35 seconds left in the game. 22 seconds left in the penalty. That's if it doesn't go to a draw. Then if it does, we go to a shootout. We go to
Well, yeah, it's, I mean,
okay, that's a bit silly.
It's unlikely, but, you know,
no, I'd say it's
the
impossible.
way the Devils been playing, you can't count it out.
Oh, all right. Moments left in this game. Hodge with it. Cross ice. Willis on the red line. One more boost up the ice. Puck off the glass. Reese with a centering and just tapped out of reach in the slot. And it's fired all the way back down where McIntosh is knocked off the puck, but that ends the game. Holy moly. Big effort there by the Devils near the end.
Yeah, that was a big third to the Devils there. They really started showing. I can't say they started showing some heart because they showed a lot of heart all game, you know.
Yeah, but they started to get some momentum.
Yeah, they
anyway,
did. Yeah.
The exciting thing is tomorrow night, 6:30.
Exactly.
Same bat station, same bat channel.
We're back into it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
See what comes of it. I'm going to sign off.
Indeed.
I'm Dave Dubnick.
I'm Joel LeBreton.
Yeah, stay tuned tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.